Gracias. Well, bon dia, good morning, and welcome everyone to the official press conference for the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Such an exciting moment in any campaign. I guess since its inception in 2013, this has proven to be a stepping stone into the America's Cup. The teams that we meet today, the helmsmen from the teams, are the next generation, that is for sure. The UniCredit Youth America's Cup is shaping up to be one of the hotly contested and anticipated events of the whole summer of sailing here in Barcelona. And if the training in the last few days is anything to go by, it's going to be an absolutely epic week out there. Whilst a lot of the teams have never stepped foot in an AC40 before until the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of time spent in the simulators and racing around the world in different classes of boats. A lot of foiling going on for this next generation. The skill level is certainly rising, and this week is going to be an absolute ripper. And it's pretty hard to predict, I think, who's going to come out on top this week. But maybe we'll get something out of them during the press conference on who's looking good. No doubt, though, this will go down to the wire. 12 different teams competing, representing 12 different countries, with one shared goal: to win this trophy, the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, and write their name in America's Cup history.
The UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Here we go.
Let's do this.
One, you're clear. Okay, rounding up.
What an opportunity for the 12 young world-class teams.
It might be all smiles now, but they'll have their game face on come race one.
This is sick.
They pulled that off. I mean, a great confidence and fantastic execution. Make a name for yourself on the America's Cup stage, and the world is your oyster.
Bring it on!
The best young sailing talent and the next generation of AC75 sailors strut their stuff.
Vamos!
Especially here.
This fleet is a who's who in youth sailing.
Look how close this finish is.
Look at us. On my tack.
Getting a little high. Turn on the jets.
Everybody okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
The America's Cup youth teams combined with the invited teams, it is going to be fascinating to see how that plays out.
One match race final will decide the UniCredit Youth America's Cup in true America's Cup style.
There we go. Told you the racing's going to be epic. So just a quick rundown on how this week is going to work. So we've got 12 teams competing. We've split those 12 teams into two groups of 6. Group A is the America's Cup teams that are being represented, so 6 teams there. And then Group B is the invited teams. Now, there'll be 8 qualification races in each group, with the top 3 teams progressing into the next stage of the finals. Now, in that stage, there'll be 4 fleet races to determine 2 teams going through to a winner-takes-all match race final, and that will be happening on the 26th of September. But it's all about getting racing underway and meeting the teams and having a chat to them. So please, let's welcome up onto the stage Group A from the America's Cup teams. And next up, please welcome onto the stage Group B, the invited teams. Well, it looks job one done. You found all your right seats, so good stuff. Okay, quick question to start. I mean, whose first press conference is this? Love it. Okay, we're gonna start with the British team here, because Athena Pathway, Britain team, you guys are the reigning youth champions. So Nick Robbins, skipper on the team, I want to talk to you about that. The Brits, you won this competition last time out. It went down to the wire, that last race, the last leg. I mean, there was nothing in it. Can the team repeat that? How confident are you?
Yeah, I mean, it was great to watch the Youth America's Cup last time around. Obviously, wasn't involved, and it was great to watch it come to Britain. But it was actually quite a long time ago, and the boats are very different now, and everything is kind of a complete reset. So, we've had a really strong summer training down in Barcelona, and able to have some time learning this type of boat and this type of racing. But I think that there's a lot of other teams who've managed to do the same thing, and the people that we have here are very strong. So it's definitely going to be a good fight.
Thanks, Nick. Okay, well, we'll go to the local team now, Sail Team Barcelona, skipper Martin Wisner. Martin, I mean, it's the chance for you guys to fly the flag for Spain. We don't have a team in the America's Cup, but there feels like there's a huge amount of support around the team base down in the main race village for your team. How proud are you and excited to be representing Spain?
Yeah, it's an honor to be here in Spain and competing in these cool boats and challenging the other guys. So yeah, the main goal is to try and be a AC team, big team in the next cup. So this is the pathway. I'm looking forward for this week.
So you think the confidence is building that this is the stepping stone to get a Spanish boat back in the America's Cup?
Yeah, for sure. Looking forward for it.
Nice, Martin. Okay, we'll go to Leonard Takahashi now, helm on board Emirates Team New Zealand. I mean, Leo, for everyone, you're trying to find an edge. You're doing everything you can, make the boat go fast, training a lot out there. But your approach, I mean, you guys have been embedded right in the thick of Emirates Team New Zealand. Can you just kind of, I guess, talk to that? What's it been like being right in the mixer of the bigger beast of Emirates Team New Zealand?
Yeah, it's been a real honour, really. Team New Zealand's a household name back home, so it's been really cool for the team and I to actually be involved with the operations and how everything works. And these boats are awesome. And I think everyone here can agree that we've had a really good time on the yacht, and even the simulator has been a really good stepping stone. So, full credit to the ACE team and actually Team New Zealand for bringing these boats to us and actually making it a stepping stone for us to be able to showcase our talents next week.
And what's it like going around the team base? Peter Berlin, Blair Tuke, Andy Maloney, and I guess even Jason Saunders on the Orient Express racing team. They lived this pathway, winning in 2013. What's that like, having the guys around the base and knowing that this is a legitimate stepping stone?
Yeah, it's awesome. Those guys are, really nice to us. They've really taken us in, and the rest of the team as well. They're always, around to have a chat. And yeah, I guess there's some big shoes to fill. It's a lot of history behind the team. So, for us, I think we just got to kind of blank that out for now and, just perform out there this week.
Nice. Okay, going to go to across the ditch to Australia now and do Team Australia with helm Cole Tapper. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Cole, practice racing, as we said, has been looking really good, and word on the street that Andu Team Australia has been one of the strongest performing teams. But you've done probably the least amount of time on these AC40 boats, but a lot of time in the simulator. Can you go and just talk to us about the simulator training, how valuable that's been, and I guess what was it like getting on the boat for the first time? How was the first beer away?
Yeah, well, we have spent a lot of time in the simulator, hundreds and hundreds of hours. And I would say that the key thing we learnt is how to sort of find the problem when the boat's out of balance. It's a balancing act, these boats. You're leaning on 2 points in the water and everything has to be lined up for you to feel locked in. But there definitely is that locked in feeling. And so that's what we learned on the sim, is basically where to look at the screens, at the environment, not so much, but at the screens, and how to troubleshoot those problems. And then to get on the boat, the sensation is fairly different when you're actually flying above the waves and you've got, 80 kilometres of wind on your face and spray. That changes, but where you're looking to find the problems if you're out of balance is the same. So, yeah.
Imagine it's pretty fun, though, getting in that boat, riffing around.
Yeah, well, the first bearaway I did, we popped up and we had some Barcelona sea state, which was not very appreciated on my end, but I poked my head out the side of the cockpit and was looking a long way down to the water. So, yeah, that was definitely something that the simulator doesn't prepare you for.
Let's go. Okay, moving along to our Swiss team, Alinghi Red Bull Racing skipper and trimmer Jan Schupbach. Jan, there was an epic photo in a Swiss newspaper yesterday of you at a very young age, watching Alingi racing. Can you tell us about this history, your connection, and how proud you are to be flying the flag for Switzerland and the team that is such a historic one, Alingi?
Yeah, so the picture that you referred to is in Valencia in 2007, right when Alingi back then won and defended the cup. And obviously I was a huge fan and looking up to these sailors, and now to be part of it and to work with them is really a fantastic opportunity. And I guess it's like the new Alingi generation. We all grew up watching the big boys back then winning the cup, so it's fantastic to be here now.
Next up, we go to our Swedish challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies, with skipper and helm Oscar Engström. Oscar, the AC40 sim has opened the door for many teams to reach the stage, but you guys have actually had an AC40 and been training a lot. So how much confidence has that given the team? And do you reckon because you've had time in the boat, you've got the edge?
Yeah, I mean, we have had an awesome leading into this regatta. We have been up in Barcelona sharing base with Magic and Athena. Had plenty of hours on the water, and yeah, we're definitely prepared for this regatta. And a team like Artemis supporting us, the experience is unbelievable they have helping us. So yeah, we're going into the regatta with a lot of confidence, but we also know these sailors around me here are the best in the world in our age. So, and it all comes down to being the best at the race stage. So we're confident, but we also know we're going to do our sailing well to be on the top.
Cheers. Okay, next up to our German team, Youth America's Cup Team Germany. Madu Schiel, helm on board the boat. Looking at the list here, you guys are representing for Yacht Club, which just shows how significant this thing is back in Germany. I mean, we haven't seen a German team since 2007. So I guess, what does it mean to be bringing a German team into the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, and do you feel that support from back home?
Yeah, absolutely. So sailing is a big part in Germany, and yeah, being here and sailing these beautiful yachts and making the first steps into America's sailing, and yeah, making the first steps to build a big cup team, and hopefully being a big cup team in the future would be great. And yeah, being part of that whole scenario is super great and super cool.
So you reckon that we could see a German team on the start line with an AC75? Maybe you on the helm?
Hopefully, yes. I'm keen to do it.
Bring it on. Awesome. Okay, now to our Italian team, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, with helm Marco Gradoni. Marco, you're the only one sitting up here that's properly raced in these AC40s with that Jeddah competition in the preliminary regattas. I mean, how much confidence does that give you, knowing that you've raced these boats and raced them very well? I mean, you pushed Emirates Team New Zealand to the final. Just a big nosedive there at the end that probably stopped you claiming that victory. So how much confidence does it give you knowing that you've been here before?
I think it was a really amazing experience to be in Jeddah with the team, with the big team Luna Rossa, and now it's a different team. We are all youth guys, so the past is the past. Now I want to really focus on the present, and I think we have a really great team, really nice sailors. Also, the women team is supporting us a lot. We have a nice coach, so we just have to keep focused. We train a lot. We push a lot ourselves to be here prepared. So we just want to go out sailing and do our best.
And because you've raced these boats, what can we expect in racing? I mean, how close are these things going to be?
I think racing is completely different from training. So everybody of us are going to push more. And in this stage, we have to be prepared. And it's amazing because if we are going to have a lot of breeze, it's going to be really tight, even the start or every mark rounding. So we are prepared about this, and we just want to go out and put our skills on the water.
Thanks, Marco. Okay, next up, our Canadian team, Concord Pacific Racing, with skipper Andrew Wood. I mean, Andrew, you're a competitor on the Olympic skiff circuit, and everyone here has raced fast boats across different classes. What are the rivalries like? Have we got some rivalries up here on stage?
Yeah, I mean, I think for this, everybody is obviously everybody's a rival. I think we have a ton of really good youth sailors here. Obviously, we're hoping to get through to the next round so that we can hopefully race against our fellow North American team. I think it would be fun. We've raced against Harry a lot in the past, so, you know, not huge rivalries, but yeah, really looking forward to race against everybody.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, not yet, exactly.
And just on that kind of, I guess, the Olympic class coming into the AC40s, what about the, I guess, the skiff that seems to be so revolutionary and, I guess, making it easier to go onto a foiling boat?
Yeah, I think just kind of the speeds and the feelings are a little bit similar, and sort of always trying to sail on the edge, I think is really important to be able to hop in these boats, and I think it just gives you a lot of skill set. And even when you look at a lot of the sail plans on these boats, they're quite similar looking, so I think there's a lot of really important things that you learn.
Thanks, Andrew. Okay, well, speaking of this potential rivalry, we'll go to New York Yacht Club American Magic skipper and helm Harry Melgis now. Harry, your grandfather, Buddy Melgis, was a legend in his time in the America's Cup. What do you think he would think about now, seeing you up on stage here, leading New York Yacht Club American Magic into the UniCredit Youth?
I think I hope he'd be very excited to see a young American team up here competing, and especially seeing 3 out of the 4 of us being from the Midwest in America. He won the Cup in 1992 with America Cubed, and you know, it really inspired me and a lot of young sailors from the Midwest in America to keep pushing and be involved in high-level competitions like this. And you know, as a team, with the American Magic team, we've received tons of support, and we're ready to go.
And does this boat, how does it feel? I mean, does it come natural? How's the learning experience been?
This boat's been just incredible. It's the coolest sailing I've ever done, and I think it's a really exciting pathway going forward to youth sailors and pretty much every sailor.
Thanks, Harry. Okay, next up from the Netherlands, we've got Yacht Team Dutch Sail with skipper Bart Lambertix. Bart, you've raced on the world stage plenty before. A lot of big competitions out there for you, but now you've got the helicopters up there, multiple cameras on the boat, and maybe don't need to mention as well, you've got the microphones listening to every word. I mean, how does that increase the intensity, and does it make you nervous that the whole world's going to be watching?
Yeah, it's definitely different. The America's Cup is big, you know. But to be honest, when you're ripping around at 40 knots, you've got plenty of other things to worry about than that heli flying above you. So, yeah.
What about the microphones? It's not just watching, people will be listening.
We have to be careful. We got told off by the race committee the other day when we were practice racing, so we really have to watch our words for sure.
But racing in these boats, I mean, how's the practice racing been for the team, and what can we expect out of the Netherlands team this week?
Yeah, well, we haven't sailed the boat until a few days ago. So we're on the back foot, and we just need to be the quickest learning team, and that's what we're focusing on.
Does it kind of convert? Does the simulator show you the real thing?
Yes and no. I think for the helmsman, it does convert, but for the trimmers, it's very different, and it becomes real sailing again. Anticipating the wind changes and the swell, and that's something you don't get on sim.
Thanks, Bart. Okay, next up from France, Orient Express L'Oreal racing team, Enzo Belanger, skipper and helm on board the boat. Enzo, not long ago we bid farewell to Orient Express racing team from the Louis Vuitton Cup Challengers Series. So now it's your chance. You're representing France. What does that mean to you?
Yes, we were really disappointing about the result of the Louis Vuitton Cup. However, we really feel the support of our team, all the French sailor fans. So, yeah, we worked pretty hard with the youth team this summer in Barcelona, enjoying the racing against the other AC teams, enjoying the city, and yeah, now I think we're ready to race this regatta, and for sure it's a great honor for us. So, looking forward for tomorrow.
And word on the street, your team's looking quite good out there. That's what they tell me.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same for every team. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and yeah, yesterday was good for us, but tomorrow will be a different day.
Great. Okay, well, we'll jump to the floor now. So just a reminder as well, please raise your hand, state your organisation. We've got time for a few questions here. We've got a couple of people rolling around with mics. Got one here.
Thanks. Andy Rice from Yachting World. Question for Bart, but I could put this to other people as well. I've been really impressed with the comms. You mentioned watching your language. What have you learned from the delivery of the comms watching the AC75 teams racing? Because I've been really impressed, certainly with the quality of the language, but also the way they communicate. So how much are you bringing that into what you're doing?
Yeah, we've watched every race, and we bring that in a lot for sure. I've also been really impressed by a few guys in the Real Cup, like Jimmy and Tom, just staying super calm under a lot of pressure, going really quick in these boats. It's really hard to stay calm on board, and that's definitely a big focus point for us as a team to just stay calm and keep cool, and then I think that's helpful for the comms. So yeah, we take an example of the real guys for that for sure.
Anyone else got a comment on that, on the comms and how you're dealing with that? Maybe Cole, how are you working with it?
Well, we're really fortunate to have access to our comms after racing days. So we went out and had a practice day the other day, and we pair it with, the umpire tool, and you can kind of re-watch every race you've done in way more detail than I've ever been able to. So it's good in a lot of ways to go back and review it, but there's also nowhere to hide in what you're saying. So you just got to have a really open discussion with your team and be, pretty comfortable to put it all out there and go through everything and make sure it's cleaner for the next time. And I'm sure our first race was a lot louder than our second, and it's going to get quieter and quieter as we go and we get more comfortable, hopefully.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Albert Soto, BTV. I know the press conference is basically in English, but I know I need an answer in Spanish. So, for Martin Wisner, what's your realistic goal for this season? And you've been training a few times in water, a lot of time in simulator. So, your realistic goal?
Martin, you can answer in Spanish first as well, and then English after.
Bueno, buenas. La verdad que el simulador es una herramienta buenísima y nos ha ayudado un montón para prepararnos para el barco en la vida real, pero al final es navegar, es un barco de verdad y es coger tus sensaciones, intentar sentirlo y confiar en tu instinto. Y al final es regatear. Todos estos tíos saben regatear y son los mejores de nuestra edad y vamos a buscar el challenge a por ellos. In English, yeah, the sim was a great tool, but after all, it's a real boat, and we have to trust our feeling and try to make the boat go fast for trusting our feeling. So yeah, these guys are really good sailors, and we are going to push as hard as we can to try and beat them.
Michele Tognozzi, Farivela. Question for Marco. Marco, on this stage, I think you are the only one that steered the AC40 and the AC75 as well. So what are the main differences between the two boats?
Basically, the weight, first of all. They're two completely different boats. The controls are completely different. So I think it was just, I want to thank the team that I train a lot on the 75 with the big guys. But the AC40 is completely another thing, and so I put my focus now on the AC40 and different team, different guys. So completely different boat and just really different way to sail the boat.
Matt Sheehan, Planet Sail. Question for Andrew Wood. Andrew, we're getting quite used to seeing these boats foiling around the place, be they big boats, little boats, whatever, and it's very easy to take it for granted. I just wonder, what's been the hardest part of getting to grips from a team that has, you haven't had as much time as a lot of the others? What's the most difficult bit about getting to grips with one of these boats?
I think, with the use of the simulator, we had a lot of the big boxes ticked before getting on the boat, which was really nice. Yeah, I think like a lot of the guys said, getting on the boat, just, doing the comms in the sim is one thing, but getting out on the water is a different thing. And I think there's a few more factors. And then, with the other boats added, I think that's been sort of the biggest thing, is just trying to make all our timings and everything from the sim line up and making those adjustments where necessary.
Hello, Pier Giorgio Sandi from L'Avanguardia. I don't know who want to ask, but the fact is that not all the teams have trained the same time in the water. So there are teams that have spent a lot of time in simulator and others that have been training a lot on the water. So my question is, do you think that the race that would start tomorrow, every team is starting with the same conditions, or this disparity may in a certain sense affect the result of the race?
Yeah, this is the America's Cup. It's not an even playing field. We got huge differences among the teams. So we've done 3 days in the boat. The teams behind us have done 100+ days in the boat. So yeah, that's definitely different than what I'm used to. And yeah, we're definitely the underdog, and these guys behind are the favorites. So that's definitely not even.
Todd Nile from Stuff. I think you might have answered my question, Bart. I was just trying to find out who'd spent the least time in the boats. Is it you guys?
Yeah, I think the German team and us didn't have any days on the boat yet. And then the teams on the left of us didn't have many days either, but just a few, I believe. I'm not sure.
Can a couple of us give us numbers? So you've had, what, 3 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, so from the Spanish team, we had a couple of days on June and July that we rent the boat. So yeah, 5 days on the boat, and really technical boat, so trying to push the hours on the water.
Jan Pearson from Sailing Scuttlebutt. Harry, your grandfather was known for both designing and racing hot boats at his time. And here you are. Is this just in your DNA, or did you start out going out little boats with your family, or how did all this happen within your family?
Yeah, certainly the sport of sailing has been in my family as long as I've been alive, really. And it all started in a small lake in Wisconsin and sailing with my family. And we've always had the boat builder, Melgus Boat Works, where we're building smaller one design classes that are sailed around the world. So I've always been involved, and my grandfather having the success that he did in the sport really inspired me and made me believe that I could also do the same, and here we are.
This is for the reporter. It's for Maru. What is it like to be the only girl at the helm, and how did this decision was made?
Yeah, first off, I'm super happy to be on the boat. Not because I'm female, because I'm an athlete. So yeah, super happy for that and for that opportunity. Yeah, still it's a bit sad to be the only female actually on the boat. I think the whole Youth Cup became more of a boys' cup. Yeah, so I'm proud to be part as an athlete, but a bit sad as a female to only be the only one. Yeah, and the decision was made due to progress in the sim, because we only had the simulator. And then after the first days of training, yeah, we had the official training days, and there everyone stepped on the boat, and the helmsman was quite hard to decide because we were quite equal, and in the sim at one point you can't really become better. Yeah, and I'm super happy that I was decided to be part of this whole project, and yeah, super cool.
Time for one or two more.
A follow-on question for Maru, but anybody else as well. How relevant are video gaming skills to being good in the simulator and to sailing these boats? So I'll start with you, Maru.
Yeah, the simulator is a video game, so that's yeah, for sure. I had a brother or two brothers, so I got a bit into video games when I was younger, but not very much. I think you can learn it, and once you're a good sailor, you get used to it, and yeah, you learn a video game quite fast, I think, because we all have the capacity to learn fast, to be able to learn new things, to learn new boats. I think that's in all of our genes, and yeah. So it's a video game, but it's also a sailing boat, and once you're a good sailor, it's easy to learn, I think.
Who's into their video gaming? I know you are, Bart. You're quite into the e-gaming, aren't you? I'm just wondering, when parents say you should spend less time on your video games, what do you say to those parents?
Well, I think the e-sailing has quite some similarities, and it's good to, it's still decision making, and it's good to practice that, I'd say, back to them.
Leo, I can see you nodding to that. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's quite exciting, the world of esports now, and I think, it's been a really great game developed, and I think, it's going to be a great pathway for kids to actually be able to have a go on these AC40 simulators / games, and then, it's a good way to progress into the next side of actually sailing one. So I think it's, fair game for all the kids to be playing games, especially when it's sailing.
One first, Shirley, down here.
Thank you. I'm Shirley Robertson, ACTV. I mean, first of all, we're delighted and quite excited to be telling your story, so I hope everyone has a fantastic week. A couple of very quick questions. The first one is, firstly to Nick and then to Oscar. Just how tight do you think it's all going to be? How competitive will this regatta be, Nick?
I think it's going to be really competitive. There's a lot of really well-prepared teams, and there's been time to take some of the knowledge from the senior teams and really put a lot of practice in. And there's been lots of a few sailors who've done some sailing alongside their senior teams and really been sailing with them. So there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of talent. It's going to be really tight racing, I think, especially with the boats being so similar as well, exactly the same as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Oscar.
Yeah, as you say, I think it's going to be really tight. We've seen the teams that haven't been sailing that much before this, but they are making improvements really quick. And just our practice day, everyone were at the line, and we had some tight situations. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be epic sailing. And with the boundary, we definitely going to have some fun situation out there.
We were slightly worried about the boundaries. My final question is to Mano and to Cole. I mean, you've all sailed some pretty cool boats, but just put in context how cool this AC40 is. What's it like, Manu?
Yeah, it's super cool boat. It's fun to race. We've spent hours in the simulator, and now finally being able to step on the real boat and feel the water, the wind, and yeah, just the G-force and the bareway is cool to have it on board. And yeah, it's super nice boat. It's lovely to sail, and with a crew of 4, it's quite hard sometimes to get all the comms right and to have everyone on the same page, but that's a challenge we will manage, I think, and yeah, super happy.
Well, I was sitting here watching the sort of promo video, and I just had the biggest smile on my face because it was pretty cool to see us actually in action, and I was pretty happy to not be included in some of the nosedives in the video. Yeah, so we're always grateful for that, and we haven't managed to knock off any wind gear, but we've gone pretty close, so we're definitely testing the limits. And when you do stuff the nose and you remind yourself, yep, there's a lot going on, you're really fast, and there's plenty of damage you can do, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we got one more, Matt.
Matt Sheehan, Planet Sail. Quick question for Harry Melgers. Harry, through your family, you've seen huge amounts of change through the family, that is. And I just wonder, for your generation, how much does this represent a step change? Is this are we on the verge of something really big? Because crusty old gits like me, well, not me, obviously, but other people sort of look at it, oh, well, this is just a sideline to sailing. But I just wonder, for the younger generation, does this represent a completely new sport? How do you see it?
I think it's extremely exciting. I don't see it as being a new sport, but I would say one of the main things that drawed me into the sport of sailing and made me fall in love with it was the speed of the boat and sailing fast, fun boats. And I think this new foiling generation is going to speak to a lot more young sailors, and they're going to get really excited about going sailing, which I think is only going to be a positive.
Harry, I think that sets us up for some great racing this week. I think we just give all the teams, all these skippers, helms, trimmers, a big round of applause for being here in their first press conference. So we get underway very soon for the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Good luck to all the teams. Have fun out there. I'm sure you will. Racing is going to get underway 2 p.m. local time. Have fun. Enjoy.